I don't want you conniving money. Money, neighbor, money, money, neighbor, money, money. You can keep your conniving money. When you've been a corrupt, you have been tell me money. Now because your money done, you come with conniving money. When you had your pocket full, you have been tell me money. Now because your money done, you hustle for tell me money. Yes, money, neighbor, money, neighbor, money, money, neighbor, money, money. Now I don't want you conniving money. Neighbor, neighbor, joker, neighbor, neighbor, joker, neighbor, neighbor, joker. That's all the money that me walk. A 2 pound note and a kill that piece. A 2 pound note and a kill that piece. A 2 pound note and a kill that piece. This is all the money that me walk. I said money, neighbor, money, neighbor, money, money, neighbor, money, money. I don't want you conniving money. Oh, Joseph, for me. Oh, Joseph, for me. Oh, Joseph, for me. Get a piece. 1 bunch green plantain, 1 string quackwari, 1 Jill black pepper. All you can buy with a Gilda piece. Yes, money, neighbor, money, neighbor, money, money, neighbor, money, money. I don't want you conniving money. When you been a corrupt home, and I been tell me money. Now because your money done, you come with conniving money. When you had your pocket full, and I been tell me money. Now because your money done, you hustle for tell me money. Money, neighbor, money, neighbor, money, money, neighbor, money, money. Now I don't want you conniving money. Money, neighbor. Oh, money, neighbor, money, neighbor, money, money, neighbor, money, money. Now I don't want you conniving money. Money, neighbor, money, money, neighbor, money, money. You can keep your conniving money. When you been a corrupt you have been tell me money. Now because your money done, you come with conniving money.
All right. Morning, neighbor. Morning. You know how Kadaki Amsterdam does his thing. He's usually on time. Well, I was made to understand that he starts at 7:10 or 7:15 with his live program after repeating the previous day's broadcast. So good morning. This is Kadaki's Amsterdam's platform, along with Dr. David Hines. Kadaki Amsterdam is currently in the lockups. He is being held as a political prisoner. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. Kadaki Amsterdam is being held as a political prisoner, and just let me say to you guys that I'm trying to get some stuff from Kadaki's platform here, so that we can have a photograph of Brother Amsterdam. And this is my first time actually being in control of his platform, so he has his own thing set up at this end. So please do forgive me. But Dr. Hines is going to be with us this morning. He is going to join in about 5 minutes or so, to have you know that there will be no phone calls. And not because I don't want phone calls, but you know how I operate. But this is Kadaki's platform. He uses his phone. He doesn't have that phone set up here. And so this morning will be no phone calls. And let me just say to all the regular listeners, who are tuned in every morning to Kadaki's Amsterdam's program. And let me say morning to all of you. If I leave your names out, don't get upset. If I call your name first, the second person do not get upset. And so the first name I will call this morning is Flash Gordon. Good morning to Flash Gordon. Good morning to Margaret Andrews, Commissioner Cole, and all of you guys. Good morning to all of you. The people out in Linden, you guys see what's happening in Linden. Perusing newspapers this morning, it is a sad situation in Linden. The entire part of Mackenzie and other places, they are completely flooded. I was looking at some photographs of people's homes. The bottom part of the houses just flood. The furniture, every single thing is gone, wiped out. The sad thing is, though, and we shouldn't be surprised, is under the circumstances, not an official of the PPP regime is in Linden. Not a single official of the PPP regime is in Linden. The corrupt, the racist PPP regime, not a single one of them is in Linden. You guys are not surprised about that, right? But when they were preparing for their propaganda, all of them rushed down there. Every single one of them rushed down there so that they can appear that they're doing up the place, they're digging drains. They destroyed the people's community. And they don't care. All they were concerned about is pretend as though they were cleaning up so that they can raise the flag. That's all they were doing. They don't care about anything else, nothing else. They don't give a rat's you know what about anything else. Anyways, for those of you who are now joining us, my name is Mark Benshaw. I'll be joined by Dr. David Hines shortly. And we are sitting in for Brother Kadaki Amsterdam, who is currently in the lockups as a political prisoner. Let's not be fooled. The charge is politically motivated, and that is why when you take a look at how they treat certain people in the community and the certain people, they have the most brutal form of punishment, and those persons are persons of African descent. It doesn't mean that other groups are not being punished for the political views and so forth. It is true. We're not going to run away from that. But when we specifically look at how persons of African descent are being treated, but let's give an example of a man who is accused of a brutal rape scene, accused that is of a brutal rape scene, is allowed to swing into the police station with his lawyer, a fancy car, police escort, not arrest, no shackles, no nothing, but someone who is alleged to have probably not done anything, because these days you don't have to do anything to be locked up. Nothing at all. You don't have to do anything to be locked up. Let me just say to you guys, and while I sit in for Kadaki Amsterdam, again, who is currently in the police lockups as a political prisoner, I'm not going to be too tolerant with trench grapples. I know it's Kadaki's platform. He deals with them differently, but I'll also deal with them differently while Brother Amsterdam is not here. So they're not going to be allowed. The trench grapples are not going to be allowed with any sort of derogatory comment. They will be sent in the trenches right away, and I am not going to be distracted by them. So for the trench grapples, if you're listening and you want to come on and you want to talk silly stuff, it's not going to happen this morning. You're going straight in the trenches. Simple as that. You are going to go straight in the trenches. I think we will have to ensure that we now that I have access to the entire platform, I have to send the access to Dr. David Hines. And so one of our folks on the ground is calling to say Dr. Hines needs access. So I will try to, I'll be back in just maybe about, no, I'm not going to be back in 30 seconds or so. I'll try to, as quickly as possible, get the access to Dr. David Hines. And again, let me repeat, there will be no distraction on this show. There will be no trench grapples, none whatsoever. But I'll be reading some of your comments as well so that we can get the program going on behalf of Brother Kadaki Amsterdam, who is currently sitting in one of those filthy, filthy lockups, filthy, filthy police station lockups as a political prisoner. We'll be right back. I'm trying to get the morning vibe, the morning beat for you guys. It's Kadaki's platform, and I want to be able to conform to some of his rules. Otherwise, it's over on my platform. It's hey, hey, right? But good morning to all of you, every single one. Rhonda Lane, if she's in class, tell her I say good morning. We'll be right back with more of Buxtonian morning. Buxtonian morning. This is the Buxtonian morning. Uh, Kadaki Amsterdam, if he's listening, because the police at the station, they might turn the volume up. Good morning to you, Kadaki. You have scores of people who are with you. You have scores of people who have prayed for you. You have scores of people who are standing in solidarity with you, uh, Kadaki. Scores of folks. We'll be right back so we can get Dr. David Hines on with us. I don't want to shut them out from their own platform, even though I'm tempted to do that. We'll be right back.
Never Joe, never Joe, never Joe. Oh, money, never money, never money, money, never money, money. Now know what you conniving money. Money, never money, money, never money, money. You can keep your conniving money. When you've been a corrupt in a biz, there'll be money. Now because your money done, you come with conniving money. When you had your pocket full, in a biz, there'll be money. Now because your money done, you hustle to tell me money. Yes, money, never money, never money, money, never money, money. Now do what you conniving money. Neighbor, neighbor, joker. Neighbor, neighbor, joker. Neighbor, neighbor, joker. All the money that me walk. A 2 pound note and a kill that piece. A 2 pound note and a kill that piece. A 2 pound note and a kill that piece. This is all the money that me walk. I said money, neighbor, money, neighbor, money, money, neighbor, money, money. Now I don't want you conniving money. Oh, Joseph, for me. Oh, Joseph, for me. Oh, Joseph, for me. Get a piece, one bunch green plantain, one string quackwari, one Jill black pepper. All you can buy with a Gilda piece. Yes, money, never. Money. Never Joe, never Joe, never Joe. Oh, money, never money, never money, money, never money, money. Now I know what you're conniving money. Money, never money, money, never money, money. You can keep your conniving money. When you've been a corrupt in a biz, there'll be money. Now because your money done, you come with conniving money. When you had your pocket full, in a biz, there'll be money. Now because your money done, you hustle to tell me money. Yes, money, never money, never money, money, never money, money. Now I don't want you conniving money. Neighbor, neighbor, joker. Neighbor, neighbor, joker. Neighbor, neighbor, joker. That's all the money that me walk. A 2 pound note and a kill that piece. A 2 pound note and a kill that piece. A 2 pound note and a kill that piece. This is all the money that me walk. I said money, never money, never money, money, never money, money. Now I don't want you conniving money. Oh, Joseph, for me. Oh, Joseph, for me. Oh, Joseph, for me. Get a piece, one bunch green plantain, one string quackwari, one Jill black pepper. All you can buy with a Gilda piece.
All right, welcome back. It's the somebody said the Guyana Buxtonian time. the Guyana Morning Time. Uh, Let me just get a quick idea as to where you guys are as I'm looking through some of your comments and waiting to be joined by Dr. David Hines. Dr. Hines, we have a lot to talk about this morning. Just give us an idea. I know where some of you guys are. I know where some of you guys are. And thank you so much for also sharing the link. And it feels good to be in Buxton this morning, Buxtonian morning time, Guyana morning time. Let me just say good morning to all of you and hope you've had a great, great night, well rested as we prepare for Dr. David Hines. Ingrid is in Harlem. Francine Cruz is in Long Island. And good morning to all the folks at the Long Island Nursing Home. Francine Cruz celebrated her 82nd birth anniversary a couple of days ago. 82nd birth anniversary. You guys can wish Francine Cruz an 82nd birth anniversary. All the folks at Long Island Nursing Home. Let me say also, Apostle Nigel London celebrates his birth anniversary today. A happy birthday to Apostle Nigel London. Even though the situation in Linden, I repeat, even though the situation in Linden is not the best at all. And so we just tried to get in touch with the mayor of Linden, that is Sharma Solomon, to get a comment as to what's happening in Linden right now. Yes, we've got to pray for our brother, Kadaki Amsterdam. We've got to pray for him. Kadaki Amsterdam, he currently is in the lockups, but we also have to pray for the people in Linden, right now. And those of you who are celebrating your birthday as well, I wish you guys a happy birthday. We have with us this morning the birthday man, Apostle London, Nigel London. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning to you, sir, and to your listeners and viewers. How are you?
Yeah, well, this morning, along with David Hines, Dr. Hines, who's not here as yet, we are sitting in for Brother Kadaki Amsterdam, and I'm now getting warmed up, so to speak, and somebody whispered to me that it's your birthday, Apostle London. Happy birthday.
Oh, boy. Thank you.
Yeah, the oh boy, is it true? Or because you know Guyanese already. Is it your birthday?
Well, so they told me.
Okay, I got you. Yeah, well, happy 70-something birthday. I think you're approaching 70, 72.
I'm most grateful. 50 days.
Apart from that, sir, what's the situation in Linden now as it pertains to the flood?
Well, I'm headed out, check it out shortly, so I will certainly bring you up to speed as to what's happening. The fortunate thing for us is we don't have rain this morning, so I know that would have brought some relief to the residents in the community, so those affected areas. However, further up at the source of most of these creeks and rivers, that's where we have rain constantly. So I don't know what's happening up in those areas, but once it begins to rain up there, then the water will eventually begin to rise again. So I will do a field visit today to see how things are, and certainly broadcast the same to the wider community.
Yeah, we'll be looking forward for that. I'm sure that even after this program here, that you'll probably do your live as well. But Apostle, thank you, because I know I just called you at the last minute as usual, but thank you so much. And if indeed they told you that today's your birth anniversary, we wish you all the best for today. Continue the great works that you're doing out there in Linden and outside of Linden as well. Thank you so much, sir, for your time.
Thank you for your thoughtfulness as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right, that's Apostle Nigel London. It's his birth anniversary. And for those who are celebrating their birth anniversaries, we wish you guys all the best. Let me try to get Dr. David Hines on as we're attempting to do that. We are attempting to have Dr. David Hines on, and that should be shortly. I'm getting a little bit sorry. Yep. So we were attempting to get in touch with the mayor of Linden, Sharma Solomon, to find out what's happening in Linden. We need to find out what is happening in Linden with the floods. It's a horrible situation there in Linden. Nobody in this regime cares. Not a single one of them. Not a single one of them are concerned about what is happening, or a single one of them is concerned about what's happening in Linden. And this doesn't shock you guys, right? This shouldn't surprise you guys that the PPP regime have turned a blind eye on the people of Linden, just as they have turned a blind eye, just as they have turned a blind eye. I notice a trench grapple is on early in the morning or early in the morning. Y'all know I'm not going to tolerate the trench grapples. So whoever, somebody I usually hear, Kadaki mentions his name, some Vishal or whatever. Well, Vishal is in the trench this morning. When Kadaki returns, which is pretty soon, let Kadaki know that Vishal is in the trench. Vishal Prasad is in the trench. No patience for trenches this morning. Absolutely none. So please let Brother Kadaki Amsterdam know that Vishal is in the trench. Commissioner Cole, good morning to you. Good morning, Precious Mineral, and all of you beautiful people. Littell, good morning to you. Deborah Clark, good morning. I know you guys are smiling how I'm dealing with trenches. Certainly no place for trenches this morning. I don't have the patience like Kadaki Amsterdam to tolerate them, because they are here as a distraction. And we are not about to be distracted. Let's get straight to my co-host this morning, Dr. David Hines. Dr. Hines, let me just apologize. I know we had some hiccups in getting you connected, but you are with us this morning. It's still not a good morning for many people, especially those hundreds of people, thousands of people out in Linden facing the flood. And also the news of Brother Kadaki Amsterdam is currently being held in the lockups as a political prisoner with trumped or fake allegations leveled against him as a result of his views, political views, his platform. The PPP regime is running scared with these sort of platforms. Let me welcome you as my co-host this morning, sitting in for Brother Kadaki Amsterdam. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much, Mark. Good morning, and good morning to all our viewers and listeners, wherever they're joining us from. You're quite right about the Linden story, and some would say karma, some would say coincidence, some would say irony. But after all the noise that was made over the weekend in Linden and was showcasing Linden and about development at Linden, the rain comes and Linden is flooded. It shows total neglect on the part of the government in communities like Linden. Now, rainfall at this time of the year is normal in Guyana, the May-June rains. We've been having unseasonable rains, but flooding continues to be a problem in our country, understandably so. But this government has now the resources to do something about infrastructure. And so therefore, it's a minor crime, some will say a major crime, that a place like Linden can be underwater as we speak. One can only indict the government for that. I don't very likely indict governments for infrastructure problems. Things like flooding are partly nature, are partly circumstance. But this government has the resources to do something about some of these natural disasters that we face in places like Guyana. And after bringing overseas visitors to show them how wonderful things are in Guyana, know this. I think we can only put it at the feet of the government, not the flooding. The flooding is an act of God, as they say, or an act of nature, however you want to put it. And so it's not the government that's caused the flooding, but the government could do something to anticipate the floods, the government could do something to upgrade the infrastructure so that flooding would be at a minimum. And in that regard, one has to indict the government. Now, it is the government that went there at Linden this weekend and said, you know, what Linden is and what Linden is going to be, and so on and so forth. So they have to take responsibility for this.
Absolutely, and I agree with you 100% because I'm a Lindener originally, and I have never heard of Linden being flooded the way it's flooded right now. And especially what is suspicious is that the corrupt PPP regime went into Linden days before this so-called flag raising ceremony to make it appear that they're doing something and cleaning up the community. And they've destroyed the people's community. They've made the flooding even worse. They've made the situation worse.